Hello! This is the second part for this topic 6 of Earth and Life Science. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so I have a question for you. What is bioenergetics? If you remember the first part of this video, we talked about the unifying themes in the study of life, where I mentioned that living things obtain and use energy, right? So we have to uh, make our own food or obtain it so that we can process it and use the energy to survive. So now let's go deeper into this topic. What is bioenergetics? Now, this is the study of energy in living systems, different environments, and the organisms like plants and animals that utilize them. So as you can see here in the picture, we have different processes involved which mainly process energy. Okay. This also deals with the intake, the processing, and expenditure of energy within the body. Okay. Now we have two types of energy reactions. The first one is called endergonic reactions. Endergonic reactions. These are chemical reactions that require a net input of energy. And remember that for this first reaction, our keyword is input. Example in the process photosynthesis. Okay, this is the process done by plants to obtain their own food, to make their own food. So in the bottom part, this is the chemical equation of photosynthesis. On the left side of this chemical reaction is our reactant side. So we can see different compounds here like 6 molecules of CO2, that's carbon dioxide, combined with 6 molecules of H2O, that's water. And in order for this process to happen, we need an input of energy. And where do we get that? We need light energy from, of course, our ultimate source of energy, the sun, in the form of photons. So these packets of energy are used to create our products, which can be seen on our products side. We have C6H12O6, which is a carbohydrate, sugar, plus 6 molecules of O2 or oxygen. So you see here in our example, we needed an input of energy for it to happen. So that is light energy. Therefore, this is an example of an endergonic reaction. Okay, for the second one, well, I hope you can see this is just the opposite of the first one. These are chemical reactions that release energy. So an example here is the process of cellular respiration. I was also able to mention this in our first video. This is where we break down different food substances to release energy. So with that, I have the chemical equation here at the bottom. You can see on our reactant side, we have glucose here. C6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of oxygen. So the process will give us the following products. We have 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, CO2, plus 6 H2O, water. And we have our energy here. This is the released energy that's in the form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So we can see that in this process, there is a release of energy. So this is an example of an exergonic reaction. Okay, moving on, there are metabolic reactions of cells. Do you remember metabolism? In the first video, I said that this is a collective term. All the processes, reaction that happen inside our bodies. Now, there are actually two types of metabolism. We have the anabolic pathway and we have the catabolic pathway. If we look at this picture on the right side of the slide, this actually gives us a hint of what's the difference between these two pathways. So you can take a look and maybe gain a hint of what's there. Okay, right, let's proceed to the first one, the anabolic pathway. Now, these are metabolic reactions which, take note, consume energy, which means these are endergonic. What for? To build complicated molecules from simpler compounds. So take note, our keyword here is to build complicated molecules from simpler compounds. Now, this pathway, an example of this is photosynthesis again. So we can see here that we have used different substances, different compounds like carbon dioxide, like water to create a complex molecule, a carbohydrate. Okay, using this chemical equation here. So to further understand anabolic pathway, I have this picture for you also to make it easier for us to remember this. Anabolism is building up. Okay, some references also call it anabolism. Okay, or the anabolic pathway. So the purpose is to synthesize complex molecules from simpler ones. And we have a mnemonic here which is actually really fun. Anna the Builder. Okay, so it's easier for us to remember. Just think Anna the Builder. So when we say anabolism or anabolic pathway, we are building complex molecules from simpler ones. All right? Got that? Okay. Now the second one is again the opposite of the first one. It's the catabolic pathway, where metabolic reactions, these are metabolic reactions which release energy. Therefore, they are exergonic by, you guessed it, breaking down complex molecules in simpler compounds. This happens in cellular respiration, and we can see that we have our glucose molecule here, and we break it down to simpler compounds like carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. All right, and another picture for you, catabolism, breaking down. So the purpose is to break down complex molecules into simpler ones. So the mnemonic here, I love this mnemonic, break dancing cat. Break dancing cat. Because we are breaking down complex molecules in catabolism. So also in this picture, an example in hydrolysis, large molecules are broken down into small ones. Water is consumed. So you see, we're just breaking this long chain into smaller ones. Okay? So now let's just compare the types of metabolism so we can have a better understanding of it. In the anabolic pathway, it consumes energy. Okay, don't forget, it consumes energy because it is building, right? It's building complex molecules from simpler compounds. And an example of that is photosynthesis. Because remember, in photosynthesis, plants are trying to make their own food. Okay? And in catabolic pathway, we release energy. So it is exergonic. And it's breaking down complex substances in simpler compounds. And an example of that is cellular respiration. All right. Okay. Now let's go to one of the important things to note. I have 2 bullets here for you. First, no cell in the body can make energy. Why did I say this? But instead, it must get energy from outside sources of the environment rather. Because if we remember the law of conservation of energy, it states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to another. So technically, we cannot make energy. We are just transforming it from one form to another. And also, we cannot make it in an organism itself. We have to get it from outside sources. You remember in photosynthesis, we got the energy from light energy coming from the sun. Okay. And also, the last one, the exchanges of matter and energy are two important processes that power life on Earth, or simple help living organisms survive. Okay? So I hope this video helped you in learning about bioenergetics more. Just keep in mind that when we say bioenergetics, it deals with processing energy to make or break different substances, and it requires different reactions. Okay, so if there are any parts in this video where you found confusing, you can still go back to view it. And yeah, I think that is it for this video. Thank you very much. This is Mom Florence, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!